technology has been at the leading edge of everything that's been happening in this crisis. What you would say, what we call the NPI, the non-pharmaceutical interventions around the world to try to combat COVID. And we have learned a lot around the world on things that could be done, to the possibilities that our technology will bring, and to the limits that we could ourselves stretch that technology and that scale to serve the world in this time of crisis. So I wanted to share a little bit of our learnings today, some of our views into what the new normal, as we call it, and a couple of learnings that we've seen here in the Philippines in particular. So when you look at the new normal, there's definitely several new scenarios that are becoming more and more common. When you think about social distancing and the scale that this has to be controlled around the world, if you think about contact tracing, just David from Multisis just now was talking, and we've been working on staysafe.ph. It's just one example of the many contact tracing initiatives that have happened all around the world. I think the biggest learning for everybody is how big the scale is when you really intend to track that many people and try to help them keep safe. If you think about curbside pickup, you said it a couple of times this morning, Richard. Manila's traffic, it's always been a problem to be dealt with. Now, all of a sudden, we realize that not only it's possible by adding some working from home, remote working technologies, it's possible, and it's actually very beneficial in many, many ways. In fact, we at Microsoft, we've been running this initiative for sustainability, and long before the ECQ restrictions, we were already in the initiative of working a couple of days from home. If you think about it, if a company of 100 people decides to work from home 1 or 2 days a week, that would be around 7 tons of carbon being eliminated per year from the atmosphere. It's just a big, big number for us to sink in, to absorb when you think about it. Thinking about cleaning protocols and other things that we need to continue paying attention to, I think that the pervasive observation here is how technology will become a key driver of this, how to use technology to scale on these solutions. If you look at remote working, I guess our learning here, as we started to remote working, I think we have to redefine the category so many times. First, we'll look at, it's not just remote working, it's more specific than that. It's remote selling, remote servicing, remote HR, remote developing. You can think of telemedicine, learning. All these things come together will require a customization, an adaptability of those tools for us to move forward. In fact, we talk about hybrid workplace right now, just to refer to the new normal of environments being virtual and physical, at least for the foreseeable future. So I think most of these things are here to stay. I think our key thought here is technology will be the enabler of this next phase. There's no chance that we can achieve what we are aiming to, and to try to reactivate economies and reactivate ecosystems without technology. And we're hopeful of the future, not just in the world, but also for the Philippines. We've seen perhaps 2 years of digital transformation happening in about 2 months, Richard. It's been amazing how companies really took up the challenge and stepped up to the situation. When it comes to learnings, I think I would probably summarize it in a couple of key learnings. Of course, there's many things that we can talk about, but to me, key concepts could be the importance of staying connected. We had the tools for remote connectivity for quite some time, but it has been until now that we needed to put them in the benefit of that deep connection the human beings need, that deep connection, how to enable better ways of connecting. Just an example very close to my heart, about last week, in the last 2-3 weeks, we worked with DEPIT to host the first ever online graduation events for children. That's a very special moment for families, for children, and we try to wrap a whole experience around the remote connectivity, which I think it delivered great value. We're looking into many more of those graduations to happen in the near future. The second is that this collaboration tool set that will bring organizations together. If you think about collaboration, it's not just the fact that we're talking today, but the fact that we can chat, that we can raise questions, that we can share documents. It's a more complex concept itself. A very interesting case and very humbling case was the Justice Department initiative to enable, for the first time ever in the Philippines, virtual court hearings. Richard, from April 30th, in the first 2 weeks of this virtual hearings being online, we've seen more than 4,600 people recover their freedom just because of the process that we're told before could happen in this new environment. This is great, it's a great innovation and great value and transformation that it's here to stay. I don't think we will ever go back to the state that we were before. Last but not least, my last learning would be act fast, move with agility, bringing people along and creating that agility in your organization. We work with police. The police department gave us a phone call. We need to be able to orchestrate all our checkpoints personnel all across Metro Manila, and I think we're countrywide. How to do this in a matter of a day or hours. Our teams and theirs work together and put something really fast and efficient to manage the situation in a matter of hours, so record time, I would say. The key question would be, how do we, as leaders, enable organizations to be able to continue keeping at this rapid pace? Because the demands are going to continue being this fast. We need to enable this agility in our organizations, and that will be the key for us to move forward. And I'll finish with a thought that I really like, a quote that was said many years ago by Mr. Winston Churchill. A pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, and an optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. And no secret to anybody, we've been put through a big amount of difficulties nowadays. So my encouragement to leaders in this call today is continue leading with empathy and vision to make sure we make the most opportunity of the difficulty we have in front of us. Thanks, Richard, and thanks everybody for having me.